I'm gonna keep this one short and sweet, okay? Because ultimately there really isn't that much to talk about. There's just a lot of stuff to talk about for things to come. I didn't even really watch everyone's videos because I feel like I've gotten all I can from this episode, to be honest. So, they merged the tribes at 12, which really hit Tsunapa's decision as, for giving up the rise to be not totally the best decision, given how they won every remaining challenge and how the merge was only a couple tribals away. But still, though, one does have to wonder if they always intended for the tribes to merge at 12, because this isn't like Kera mode where you had 20 people and they almost always merge at 12 with 20 people these days. But like here, I totally think this is the first time they've actually accelerated the merge given one tribe situation. And then Josh, pretty much out of nowhere, drops the hint that Jeremy had been suspecting back in episode 5 that he would have been the target had Unapu actually lost a challenge. I really wish this had been acknowledged earlier, because that would have given us more thoughts on the contestants, and instead of just focusing on the losing tribe. So everyone has the feast, and then they head back to Koyopa, which makes sense because Unapu had to basically destroy the shelter. Although though I've just wondered, if they put everyone at a new beach for the feast and then head back to another tribe, why not just leave them at that new location, Because normally in that situation you would have either one tribe have the feast and then the other tribe shows up, or you have one tribe bring the feast, just odd. Everybody starts talking back and forth, and then it becomes an idea of couples versus non-couples, plus maybe one or two couples, and John and Jacqueline, as was alluded to in the previous episode, end up in the middle again. And this would have been interesting had we not been spoiled this last episode, because if you go back to last episode and fast forward halfway between the bit where Koyopa lost the immunity challenge and going to tribal, you'll see a confessional from John, and you realize that he's wearing the merged tribe color buff. I got that the first time that I saw that, which was really annoying. Kind of ruined half of the episode for me, And I don't totally get the idea of just like playing couples versus non-couples. Just pick the people that you want to play with or think you can work with, and just go with it. Is it really that hard, Josh? Come on. And this episode, I'm looking at him and I'm like, I'm feeling a little negative about this guy. Although, to be fair, both of the first 2 seasons of Nicaragua and Samoa were pretty negative, along with arguably the first 2 Philippines seasons. What's the deal with that, huh? So, yeah, because it's been a while since we heard from Josh, and I'm just looking at him going, It's making me finally realize that I think I should stop trying to make, like, quote-unquote excuses for these players and just admit that this season really isn't shaping up to be that great of a season, even though we do get good, interesting results from the contestants. That's not to say that it can't improve, far from it, but I'm starting to feel bad about this season now. Yeah, I'm going to keep watching, absolutely. Then what Jeremy was trying to do will make sense, but here's one thing I don't get. When did he suddenly become buddy-buddy with John again? Because after Drew was voted out, John was flipping out, going off against everybody. And I was just looking at him going, It's odd. And, oh yeah, Alec. When did he suddenly become Drew? Because I got the behavior from him a lot this episode, and from the next time on, little bits. Just, yeah, I thought that Alec was going to be like, the rational guy, but now that he's in arguably sort of the same situation that Drew was in, because a lot of people are vying for his vote right now, yeah, Okay. So that immunity challenge, I was surprised that Keith pulled that out, but since we didn't really get that many confessionals from him, not much to mention, And how did I feel about the birthday issue? Well, the days do kind of blend together, and unless you have like a calendar always in front of you, it's pretty easy to forget one, what day of the week it is, and also what day of the month it is. Now, I'm lucky in that my watch here has the date on it along with the day of the week, so I've got a calendar with a flick of the wrist, literally. So, yeah. But it is kind of bad because you do expect people to remember these things. And then the main topic, Julie quitting the game. Well, a lot of people have been predicting this, and it is disappointing, especially since she had pulled through a lot in the previous episode. But I do feel like she does make a valid point, given how this is Blood vs. Water. This isn't an ordinary game of Survivor, because had this been an ordinary game of Survivor, well, one, she wouldn't have been on the show anyway, but also totally different mentality here. Now, to be fair, like with what Jerry was saying, and like Steven was saying, and Jeff said, people go through this kind of stuff all the time, but Survivor is still a different experience, so, yeah. And then the Trailwick State, honestly, I felt really nothing there. I honestly felt like it was people making a big deal out of like too much. What you really should have done was actually just go up to her and ask what the scoop was. What the scoop was? You know, just, that's what they should have done, really, just air it out, okay? Come on. And it's not like Julie is completely the ditzy blonde, like, Kelly was appearing to be for most of her time on the show. Julie demonstrated in this episode she's actually self-aware of her position in the game. She's just not good at it, which is different from the usual combination of both not being good at the game and not being aware, or having both of those things. She's in an in-between situation. So her quitting the game, that sucks, but she does have some reason for it, and yeah, there's really not that much that could have been done, to be honest, although it was a bit of a bummer to miss out on that tribal, even though Jeremy would have gone. And I don't think that's the right move for John and Jaco, to be honest, though. Why I think that, I don't know, okay? I really don't. And how do I think fan reaction is going to be to her quitting? Fan reaction is definitely going to be more against her, but I think ironically Jeff is going to be more for her quitting and being more okay with it. Why he thinks that, I don't know, since like every season, One World On has always had somebody be pulled or quit the game, which is really disappointing. Yeah, not that much more I can mention, so see ya.